I think that song in particular is like an old-fashioned with salt sticks, because you're just at the bar just going, fuck, I'm sad. Yeah, and you're thinking back on the time that you thought was great, but like maybe it's not, you know. Sometimes I'll get a melody in my head, and I'll just sort of run with that, and I'll not be able to find lyrics for it for a long time, like sometimes years at a time. I'll just be humming something one day and like that's it, and then just sort of like write the song from there. Or other times it's just been I've been going through like a huge amount of emotions, and I just put pen to paper, and then the whole song comes out, and then I'm like I need lyrics to that, or like I need the music to this. Every song comes from a different place. Like I have one about Jesus, one about goblin, or two about goblins, one about drowning, and they're all come from very different places of my life. So for the rest of the summer, myself and Cian McBain, also a fantastic musician, we're running the open mic on Thursdays in 800A. It starts a little bit later, so we go from sign-ups from like 8:30, then we go till later on in the night and have a bit of a jam session afterwards. But it's a lovely place. We try and give everyone 2 songs, sometimes 3 if there's a bit of extra time. My highlight of the week is going there, standing in front of people and playing Marty Robbins songs. Chickenlegs came from, I booked a gig with Jamie Collier a couple of months ago, and people were doing lots of like promotions for their gigs, and it was just like people standing in front of a screen being like, hey, I have a gig on. And I was like, no, we should do something different. And I was like, what do you think if I make a puppet for this idea for this Chickenlegs character? Dave Ingleton, the host of Kindle Stuben Open Mic, he donated me a fur coat, and then a friend donated a pair of pants, and I was like, oh, that's a little puppet right there. So he's Chickenlegs is the name of the puppet. He's an Irish puppet, a lovely, sweet, gentle soul. He plays music a little bit as well. He'll be appearing a little more in the future. We're just trying to figure out his niche at the moment. Playing at open mics is a big part of that, because once you play open mics, people will, like, hopefully, knock on wood, become fans of your music, and will be like, oh, are you playing anywhere else? And they'll come to another open mic, and then you're like, oh, I have a couple of people who might be interested in this. And then you ask around at venues, like, could I put something on here? Everything's incremental. So you'll start small and hopefully end up getting bigger and bigger. I've just started a WhatsApp group, and it's to do with live music in Berlin, because it's quite difficult to get your traction on gigs and stuff. Like often you post something and 10 people will see it, and it's a bit of a bummer. It's going to be curated and everything, so there's you can put in messages about like this gig's coming up this day, this day, and we just want to have it that anyone who has a gig can post something, and 100+ people will be able to see. We're aiming for, at the moment, because it's just starting out, like to get minimum 100 followers on the channel and then build it from there. But yeah, it's going to be like a broadcast network for all the gigs in Berlin. A lot of Irish music that appeals to me is very melancholy and sort of wistful. Like pay homage to that in some of my songs. Like I've started writing. It's the closest thing I have to like a trad piece recently, and it has its nice little thing to it. But when I first came up with the melody for it, I'm just like, this sounds like home to me. I haven't been home in quite a while, and it's a place that has a particular sound, and that's what I'm trying to get across. EP release at some point in the near future, but I'm not quite sure when. I have my EP recorded and mastered. I just need to finish up. It's the final 1% is where I'm stuck. So in 4 to 5 years, I'll be releasing my first EP. Apart from that, every Thursday I do the open mic with Cian in 800A, and it's a great night. So if you want to see what I'm up to every night.